Kyle Busch has led 68 laps and counting, currently ahead of Elliott Sadler and his brother Kurt Busch. And the Goodyear blimp has been providing a familiar sight from the American sky for 80 years. Above us floats the spirit of Goodyear over Dover, and the racetrack providing our aerial view, reminding you to travel with peace of mind on Goodyear's new Assurance tires. Jeff Hammond, the back of the pack in the 8th, 9th, 10th area of Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth now up to 7th. Guys chasing Kyle Busch, who have yet to win a race this year, but hanging in there.
Chris, when you look at the way this race is kind of shaking out right now, I think people have been trying to pace themselves, be a little bit patient. And you mentioned these three guys. They've still got a long ways to go, but they got themselves into contention. And that's what's key right now, being in contention, not letting the leader get too far in front of you, but not overly abusing your equipment.
Kurt Busch in between, or I should say Elliott Sadler between Kurt and Kyle Busch. Let's rejoin Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds.
Greg Biffle moving forward. He's up to the 8th spot at the expense of Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman. Mark Martin has passed Jimmy Johnson for 11th. Here's Rusty Wallace, who has climbed to 4th ahead of Jeremy Mayfield, his former teammate. So a lot of movement within the pack as this green flag run continues.
Rusty's car, the two, just nice and steady throughout all these runs.
Rusty 4th, Mayfield 5th. Brian Vickers has come to 6th after a very strong run. He was the fastest car last Sunday night at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Led a bunch of laps, I believe a career best last Sunday night.
And I think if he can just find that balance there on the patience meter, I think everything will be great with that race team. They just keep getting stronger like Kyle Busch.
And Matt Kenseth, whose lap times are actually a little bit quicker than race leader Kyle Busch's right now. Biffle in 8th. He's about a second behind Kenseth. And another 1 second back comes Tony Stewart. Kind of in the rocking chair there. Next car behind him that he is racing is Ryan Newman. Newman is about 10.7 seconds off the lead in that Alltel number 12, Dick.
And what did you do on your honeymoon? 26-year-old Trent Cherry was married yesterday to Ashley Lawless. But for 5 years, he has carried tires for Ryan Newman. So here he is on pit road instead of being off with his bride. Poor Ashley is home moving furniture out of her apartment and into the home that they will share. Congratulations, Trent.
Thanks, Dick. 173 laps complete. Now Casey Kane fell off the lead lap earlier, the number 9 lap down, as we have a look at Tony Stewart in 9th place. Stewart, an expert on asphalt, on dirt, sometimes both in the same day, as we've seen. But Tony, how about racing on concrete?
I don't think you really do drive it different. It's just the fact that because it is concrete, it's got a lot more bumps than an asphalt track does, because you have seams and places where they've cut the concrete for expansion. So those sections shift and change, and every year you go there, the bumps are a little bit different than they were the year before. So it's constantly a track that changes.
And he's a guy that, you know, if you want to talk about Dover, you need to listen to, because his average finish here is 4.25, and I tell you, he's 6th or better in the last 5 races, and 11th or better than the last 12 races. So he has been awesome here at this racetrack.
Yeah, that's all the starts he has here at DW is 12. So at one time did he finish out of the top 10.
And he's finished every lap of those 12 races but one. So you can listen to Tony Stewart when it comes to Dover. He's making his 225th start today, dating back to his first start at Daytona in 1999.
Rusty Wallace on the move. He has chased down 3rd place Kurt Busch.
And Rusty's car is about where you would expect to see it. He's right around the bottom of the racetrack right now, as we're about 30 to 40 laps into this run.
I tell you, this little guy right here in the 5 car, I mean, you think about Kyle Busch, how many laps has he run over the last couple of weeks? He ran all 3 races at Charlotte. He's been in all 3 races here this weekend. He's had what, Larry, in that period of time? 3 wins. He's he's running a lot of laps. If practice makes perfect, he's going to be pretty darn good before this stretch is over with.
And he's trying to do something that only one driver has ever done here before. Win his first Cup race at Dover. Junie Donlevy's driver, Jody Ridley, did it here in 1981. Saw Junie, the gentleman from Richmond, and his family as they checked into the hotel here off the back stretch. And this place still holds very fond memories for Mr. Donlevy, because I believe that was also his first and only Cup win as a car owner.
Let's see Greg Biffle recover from that looseness off turn 2 a little while ago. He's going to go by Brian Vickers in the 25 car. That's for 6th position.
What I like about Biffle, didn't slow him down, made him mad.
You see our fuel window. We're getting close to about halfway through this fuel run. We should see everyone on pit road here in about 40 to 45 laps, 4 tire adjustments, and more fuel.
Oh, half a tank. You can get to the airport and back on that.
Not with these things.
Welcome back to Dover, Delaware, where Elliott Sadler chipped away at Kyle Busch's lead. And now the M&M's Ford goes back out front for the 3rd time today. Here's the lead change. Back straight away. Now earlier we saw what looked like a piece of side skirting, that black plastic material, fly out from Kyle Busch's car. Could that have affected the way that car?
Well, and look at Mr. Harvick there. You think that affected anything? You know, that's left over from a little residual from yesterday.
Yeah, and I just don't know, Mike, that skirt that goes below the rocker panel on the right side. I know it's an awfully tall piece of skirt. I'm just not sure how much that would affect the handling of the car here at Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, he just blew his skirt up.
But, you know, that's about what we saw earlier as we see Greg Biffle in the 16 car go by his teammate Kurt Busch in the 97. That's a battle for 5th. This is about what we saw a while ago, though, when Kyle Busch, the 5, changed 2 tires. About 50 laps into the run, Elliott Sadler's 4 tires prevailed. Kyle Busch didn't lose a lot of ground, but he definitely relinquished the lead to Elliott Sadler in the 38 earlier.
A couple of cars that are coming are Greg Biffle and Mark Martin. Let's check with Steve.
Hey, Mike, a little while ago when Greg Biffle almost lost it, he said, hey, did you guys see that? Doug Richards said, hey, man, I know you're just barely hanging on, but you are running great lap time. Doug Richards told me this morning he never has to tell Greg Biffle to hustle that race car.
Biffle's running about 25.10s. A little quicker than leader Elliott Sadler, and Mark Martin has also been in the 25.1, 25.2 range. So Martin right now is the 7th place car.
And then in the rundown, Mike, if you notice, 5th is Biffle, 6th is Busch, 7th is Martin, 8th is Kenseth. All those Roush cars, all 4 of them in the top 10.
And the 5th Roush car, Carl Edwards, in the 99s, back in 17th position. Riding with Mike Wallace here in the 4 car, back in the 30th position. He's 2 laps down.
Elliott Sadler's lead, not shrinking, not growing. It's just, well, it's growing a little bit. He's up to 0.8 of a second on Kyle Busch. As Greg Biffle closes right up on Jeremy Mayfield. This is for 4th place.
Not surprising to see Jeremy Mayfield having a good run today. We watched him in both those practice sessions yesterday. He had the fastest lap. He was the fastest on 10-lap runs, the fastest on 15-lap runs. By far, in a little different track conditions, had the class of the field.
Biffle trying to eat into Jimmy Johnson's lead that was 71 points coming in here. Jeff Gordon knocked out of the race early. Will likely fall out of the Nextel Cup top 10. Officially, Gordon will finish 39th today. His teammate is the point leader, and right now, Matt, he's running back in 12th place.
Johnson's next pit window is about 25 to 28 laps. Now on the last stop, front tire changer Shane Parsnow injured his forearm. He's not exactly changes tires on the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Since Gordon is out, Quick will come over and finish the day for Jimmy Johnson, trying to help the Hendrick team continue on in their chase for another championship, hopefully this year with a 48 now. Quick last year was Jimmy Johnson's tire changer.
Now, Matt, I'm just curious, is he going to use his tire carrier from the 2014? Because we know the tire changer and the tire carrier is a package deal.
Larry Mack, they are still going to stick with their same game plan down here on the 48. Even though Corey Quick has his own tire carrier over on the 24 car of Jeff Gordon, which would be Craig Curione, he is going to stick with Art Simmons, who is a tire carrier on the 48.
Thanks, Matt. Kind of nice to have a lot of depth in those multi-car teams and folks willing to help out when somebody's hurt. Now, we asked about the side skirt, that piece of skirting that flew from Kyle Busch's car. Dick can update us.
Well, I talked to crew chief Alan Gustafson, Mike. He didn't say anything at all about the side skirt, but he said the car is lacking in overall grip. And moments after Gustafson told me that, his driver, Kyle Busch, got on the radio and confirmed the lack of overall grip. Said that the nose is pushing, but the back end is sliding around too. They very much would like to make a pit stop and put 4 fresh tires on it. And that won't happen until there's a caution flag.
Halfway. Elliott Sadler leading and Kyle Busch 0.7 of a second back.
I'm going to tell you the real problem that Kyle Busch, the 5, has is that man right there in that number 2 Miller Lite car, because he's been consistently about 0.2 of a lap quicker than Kyle Busch and our leader, Elliott Sadler. Rusty Wallace in the 2 in 3rd place right now, reeling those boys in.
Ford, Chevy, Dodge at the front. Sadler, Kyle Busch, and Rusty Wallace. Pit stops not too far away here in Dover.
Elliott Sadler leads Kyle Busch and Rusty Wallace. We're under our 6th caution, debris on the Monster Mile. Pit road open. Check out pit strategy here in a moment. Jeff, what can we anticipate at this point? We've gone 207 laps so far.
Well, we know we're going to, for sure, everybody's getting 4 tires right now, but once again, we've seen some fierce racing on the track. Now we're going to see it down on pit road.
Let's get Larry McReynolds' thoughts here on this. Larry?
There's no question we're going to see everyone on pit road for 4 tires here, because we were not that far away from green flag pit stops. Dick Berger.
4 tires that the team will put on Kyle Busch's car will have a little bit less air pressure than the set they put on the prior pit stop. That's the plan, to try to give him more grip. Steve.
The 38's just a little bit tight. Dick, Ryan McRae, and Lance Hanna, the tire carriers on that 38. 4 tires for him. Matt.
Making a significant air pressure adjustment in the right rear, as well as a track bar adjustment. Now, the 42 of McMurray is back on. His back corner is hanging out of the box. Let's see how that hurts the exit for Busch. A little slow on the left rear as well.
Looks like the real winner off pit road is going to be Matt Kenseth. Those guys picked up 4 positions, but it's like Jeff Hammond pointed out earlier, it's where they're pitting down there. They have no one to contend with getting in or out of the box. You can see right there his teammate Mark Martin, 17, Matt Kenseth the quickest time, Greg Biffle, Sterling Marlin the slowest of times, including the pit stop.
Yeah, and the 12 didn't have the 29. He's a lap down now, so he had a clear shot too.
Here's the race off pit road. Won by Elliott Sadler. 6th caution flag of the day. This one for debris, and an opportune one for Sadler's crew.